Hello, dear students, Jai Hind and very good morning. As you all know, we are continuing chapter Understanding Shapes. In this particular chapter, you have already attended 11 lectures, and in all this lecture, what we have discussed, understand, let us first have a summary of that, what we have discussed. As far as all these previous lectures were concerned, we have discussed in detail about quadrilaterals. We discussed about various parts of quadrilaterals. We discussed about one of the most important property of quadrilateral, that means the sum of measures of all sides of a quadrilateral, understand, is 360. We discussed about that. We discussed about adjacent side, adjacent angles, pairs of opposite side and opposite angle, that we discussed. Then we discussed about one of the most important quadrilateral, that is parallelogram. As far as parallelogram is concerned, we discussed about properties of parallelogram, understand, in format of theorem, as you all know. Understood? Three theorem we discussed regarding parallelogram. We discussed regarding in parallelogram theorem number 1, 2 and 3. All these three theorem were actually sum up of properties of parallelogram that we discussed. Understood? Then we discussed about a rectangle, and we discussed about all important aspect, important properties of a rectangle. If I just ask you, list out some of the common properties between rectangle and parallelogram and some of the contrasting properties of rectangle and parallelogram. So some of the common properties which are similar between parallelogram and rectangle. This is, I am summarizing the fact to make your theoretical concept very strong, so that you are able to answer any objective, whatever asked to you, whatever twisted it may be. So let us summarize common properties between parallelogram and rectangle. First, See, right, right hand, you think of parallelogram. Left, you think of rectangle. Let us list out parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel. Rectangle. Opposite sides are parallel. Common property. Second, opposite sides are equal. Here, opposite sides are equal. Third, diagonals bisect each other. In rectangle, diagonals bisect each other. Three common properties between, suppose uh, in WRT or in any test, if you are asked, list out three common properties between parallelogram and rectangle, you can list out these three property. Suppose in 2 marks you are asked, okay, list out those properties between parallelogram and rectangle which differentiate between them. So let us pick it out those properties which actually create distinction between parallelogram and rectangle. In parallelogram, suppose all angles are never right angle. In rectangle, all angles are always right angle. Here in parallelogram, diagonals are never equal. Here, diagonals are always equal. You understood this? So, this way, when your theoretical aspects are stronger, it becomes easy for you to answer any MCQ, one line, or true false, whatever asked to you in exam. You have to, don't, you just do not have to run behind MCQ, but you have to run behind strengthening your theoretical concept. On that you have to target, and once you target your concentration on theoretical concept, then it becomes easy for you to answer any type of objective. Okay, dear student? So, this was just a summary before we start. Understand? Uh, Title of the chapter, let us write for your reminder. It is understanding shape. Okay, understanding shapes. And you are attending today, dear student, in this lecture number 12. Okay, let us solve today one very important, actually you can't call it theorem, understood? You can call it one word. I am going to write it here. That is also going to be very useful in higher standard. Understand? Actually, I told you that in theorem you have to produce the proof. But as far as geometry is concerned, it happens that you are asked some geometric examples which may not involve numerical values, but they are like theorems only, but you have to prove those geometric examples which we actually call riders. What we call them? Riders. Understand? Rider concept you will understand in much detail when you go to higher standard in 9-10. There are you are going to attend and solve riders which are actually geometric statement only, but they have to be proved with reference to already understood concept, that is some postulates, understand some theorems that you can utilize as a reference to prove those geometric example which we call rider. Okay, today dear student, we are going to prove one such important rider regarding a rectangle. Okay, let me write this particular rider here, and then we will conceptualize that how can we prove the given fact. And as you know, dear student, I have given you complete idea regarding two postulate, two criteria to prove two triangles congruent. They were SAS and ASA. Those two criteria needs to be in your mind when we are going to prove this particular rider. Okay, let us write first what is the rider is about, what is said. Please note down with me. In a rectangle, in a rectangle ABCD, please note down with me, in rectangle ABCD. Okay, DN and BM are perpendiculars. In rectangle ABCD, DN and BM are perpendiculars drawn just not down, drawn on diagonal. Okay, diagonal AC. In rectangle ABCD, DN and BM are perpendiculars drawn on diagonal AC, then prove that this is the statement of the rider, then prove that dn equals to bm. Okay, this is the statement of the rider which we are going to prove. Okay, first you verify it. As I told you, whenever we want to prove any theorem or rider, the word rider now just now I coined this word for you. Rider means such geometric examples which require proof. Try to understand it. This can be called riders. Okay. First, dear student, understand the given data, because whenever you want to prove any geometric example or rider, first what is important for you is to understand the given data. From the given data, what is your first duty? Draw diagram as per given data, and from the given data try to write data and to prove, and then you just try to gather the concept from diagram. How can you prove given concept or given rider? Okay, let us, dear student, to prove this rider. Okay, for that purpose let us first draw a rectangle ABCD. Okay, draw with me a rectangle ABCD. This is a rectangle ABCD. Now, dear student, after we draw a rectangle ABCD, let us draw one diagonal. Okay, diagonal AC is required. That's why we have drawn diagonal AC. Now, dear student, what is said? DN and BM are perpendicular on diagonal AC. Let me show one perpendicular. This is DN, and you should mind one very important thing. Whenever you draw perpendicular, that means you are showing right angle here. Perpendicular means the line segment meeting other line segment at an angle of 90 degree. Okay, another one, let us draw BM. It is another perpendicular drawn on diagonal AC. Okay. Now, dear student, after we realized and represented the given content in format of diagram, let us write data and to prove. Okay. First, data. What will you write in data? In. This is the data you are writing in rectangle A, B, C, D, DN and BM. Understood? Are perpendiculars. Are perpendiculars drawn on diagonal AC. Okay, this is given, or you can call it data to prove. To prove, that means what you have to prove? Dn equals to Bm. This is what we have to prove. So dear student, just try to summarize it. First, as per the given statement, we have drawn the diagram, then we have written data and to prove. Understood? Now dear student, let us try to give proof. One of the very important thing is that conceptually, once you see the diagram, what you have to prove congruent. So this is your target. You want to prove Dn and Bm congruent. This is your target. So dear student, concentrate on these two triangle. Understood? If you try to prove these two triangle congruent by any one of the concept which may be applicable here, either SAS or ASA. Once you are able to prove these two triangle congruent, then it become easy for you to prove that Dn equals to Bm. Okay, to prove two triangles congruent, how many postulates you have? Only two. Understood? First, SAS or ASA. Only two postulate we have. Let us try to understand which concept can we apply here. See dear student, now concentrate. See, because it is a it is a rectangle. One thing we all know very well, that opposite side are congruent. So dear student, AD and BC are no doubt opposite sides, understood, of rectangle, but they are actually the corresponding sides, understood, of two triangle also. Okay, try to gather the concept which is very important. Understood? See dear student, one thing has been clear, that you are able to say when you want to prove these two triangle congruent, one pair of opposite side of rectangle are always congruent. Understood? So dear student, got this one? Okay. Okay. Is it clear? Before we move in this rider, let me write the postulate you learn. Can you remember the postulate? S A S A S A. You understood? At that time I told you, dear student, that two postulate which I explained you in concept application were very important in at least in concept of parallelogram and rectangle. But at that time I told you also that there are also some other criteria which are also useful to you for proving two triangles congruent. That criteria I am mentioning here, AAS. What does this mean? Two pairs of angles, and see I have written S here, that means two pairs of angle and one pair of side which is not included. You understood this? Why I have narrated this? Because we have to utilize this postulate or criteria AAS. AAS means two pair of angle, one pair of side which is never included. Okay. Now see. So one pair of side so we got. Now dear student, DN perpendicular to AC. So this is 90 degree. BM perpendicular to AC. This is 90 degree. So these two angles are equal because they are 90 degree. Can you speak the name of this angle? Angle A N D. Can you name this angle? Angle B M C. You got one pair of angles, one pair of side AD equal to BC. One pair of angle we got. Dear student, another thing, because it is a parallelogram, rectangle, so opposite side are parallel means AD parallel to BC. So can you realize inverted Z here? See, I am rolling my pen on this. See, D A N M C B. Again I am rolling my pen, D A N M C B. So this two becomes alternate angle. What it forms? A congruent pair of alternate angle. Okay. To name this angle, how can I name it? Angle D A N. To name this angle B C M. See dear student, you got two pairs of angles congruent. You got one pair of side congruent which is compulsory not included because you are going to apply this criterion, that's why AAS. Understand? These two criterion, no, this one, understood, cannot be applied here, right? SAS or ASA, understood? So, things are clear in your mind. Let us write in the form of proof. Let me first mention name of both triangle. Can you name this triangle? Triangle AND. Okay. And can you name another triangle? Triangle BMC. Okay. Let us, dear student, represent all what we have conceptualized and understood in the diagram. Let me write first AD equal to BC. What is your reference for this? You will write opposite sides understand of a rectangle ABCD. Okay, so this is clear. Second, dear student, talk about this angle. I may speak A and D, I may speak D and A, all are equal. Let us to be varietyful write DNA equal to angle BMC. Why these two angles are equal? You can produce the reason that they are right angles. Okay. And third, my dear student, name this angle DN. Okay, we will write angle DAN equals to DAN equals to angle BCM. Okay, and what you will write in that as a reference? Alternate angles. Okay, right? And why they are congruent? If you want to make it more clear, you can write alternate angles formed by AD, this one, parallel to BC. Okay. So, dear student, these two triangles as mentioned here proved congruent by which postulate? AAS. Two pairs of sides, one pair of angles. You understood this? So, what you can write now, therefore, triangle AND, okay, congruent to triangle BMC, by which criterion we selected? By AAS criteria. Okay, and because these two triangles, these two are congruent, that means all corresponding parts are also congruent. Therefore, dear student, therefore Dn, okay, you can write this way, therefore Dn congruent to BM. Okay, it is proved. This is the way you can prove geometric examples which does not involve numerals. Understand? Conceptually, easily you can prove them. You understood this? Okay. So these are actually called, either you call it geometric examples of prove that, or you may call them rider also. Okay. Is it clear in your mind why I took to explain you? Because it happen in exam that I may change the label totally. I may change rectangle, label of rectangle, this to perpendicular. So if you are at that time conceptually stronger, then and then you are able to realize this, understand, you will understand the concept and can prove it. Okay. So is this clear? Right? How we have proved this geometric example. Okay, student. And you need to mark this one more postulate, A, A, S. Okay. Now, dear student, after we completed this geometric example which we call rider, let us try to solve one very important and difficult example. One example we have solved in previous lecture. Okay. One more example just now. Okay. Write the example first. This is involving numeral. Okay. Just write with me. In rectangle ABCD. Okay. In rectangle ABCD, diagonals, okay, diagonals bisect each other at O, at point O. If measure angle CAB equal to 28 degree, then find measure angle COD. First, as usual, dear student, understand the statement, right? Then we will draw the diagram and we will try to solve this particular example. And as I told you, maths is a subject of variation. Maths is not a subject to stick to anything. So never you think like that, that if you are explain one example by me, don't think that that example is soluble by only the method Bharat sir discussed and explained. You may apply your own concept also, and that will be the most welcome on my part. But factually and authentically you have to be correct. Understood? Let us try to solve this sum, dear student. Make a rectangle first, okay? Rectangle ABCD, okay? Let us name it rectangle ABCD. What is said here? Diagonals bisect each other at point O. You are given measure of one angle, that is angle CAB. This one is given 28 degree. I am just putting the question mark of our target. Okay. Now, dear student, try to understand. We have to find angle COD, that is confirmed. Now, if you can remember the theorem you studied, where these two triangles we have proved congruent. Let me roll my pen. Triangle DAB, triangle CBA. You remember this? So these two triangles are already equal, congruent. That means these two angles are also congruent. So this is also 28. Let us write it. You do not have to prove these two triangles congruent. You can just mention the fact this way, as we know that triangle DAB, okay, congruent to triangle CBA by, you remember by which postulate we have done it? By SAS. Understood? You already know, because in one of the theorem we have done it. Because triangle DAB congruent to CBA, these two angles are congruent. So you can write angle CAB equal to angle DBA. Therefore, angle DBA equal to 28. Now, dear student, these two angles you got. Now your concentration has to be on this triangle. Triangle AOB. What is the angle sum property you studied? Sum of all angles of triangle is 180. So we can write, I am just continuing here. Therefore, in triangle, see the triangle AOB. Okay. I am not writing angle OAB, I am just writing 28 plus, not writing OBA, direct writing 28 plus angle AOB equals to 180. Okay. Therefore, 56 plus angle AOB equal to 180. Let us just transfer it. 180 minus 56, okay. 56 plus 460, 24, it is 124 already. So you got this angle 124. And now, dear student, as you know, this cross vertically opposite angle are always congruent, that you already studied in previous standard. Okay, therefore now what you can write, angle AOB equal to angle COD. The reason you produce is they are vertically opposite angles, therefore angle COD equal to 124 degree. At the end you write degree. Don't involve that degree in calculations. Okay. So the sum is over. So this is the way you have to conceptualize the example in your mind. You understood this? Okay. How we moved? These two triangle were already congruent. So these two angle are congruent. This belongs to triangle CAB. This belongs to triangle DAB. Then in this particular triangle, sum of all angle is 180 degree. So we took that angle sum property and got this angle. Now these two are vertically opposite angle which are always congruent. And even if, dear student, if you are conceptually, if you don't have the idea, just give you just a reminder, whenever you get such shape cross, these two are called vertically opposite angle which are always congruent. At the same time, these two are also called vertically opposite angle which are always congruent. Okay. So dear student, in today's lecture we complete the concept of rectangle. We will move with other types of quadrilateral, related theorem and related example. Okay. Thank you very much.